So yeah, I'm here with another interview, of course. This time I actually didn't pick a player or coach, I picked the team owner. We have Laser Chicken here, aka Marty, however everyone calls him. And yeah, I just wanted to ask you just general questions about coaching stuff and infrastructure of the team, because
Sure.
I think everyone knew what people you picked up as the infrastructure. You have ex-CLG coach Chris, Yamato Cannon, and how does it build up? Are you happy with what you've built up so far? And of course, team atmosphere, what's the deal there?
So our big thing was this is a brand new team, brand new organization. We just moved into a house that we've never been in before. So there's a lot to do. So getting Yamato was a really big point for us. We worked a long time on that, and that was a big thing for leading the strategic, he's the head coach, right? Leading the strategy of the team and the future there. However, it's a lot to do in a really short time. So we said, how can we support him to make it as easy as possible? Beyond having a general manager and a good analyst, we've got those are really great assets. But bringing Chris in, who's already taken a team all the way into Worlds. He's done things like the big win in Madison Square Garden over TSM, and he's shown he can take a team and build the necessary infrastructure, I guess you'd say, to support them. And so it's takes a load off Yamato's back, if you will, right? And he can really focus on the day-to-day of just growing their skill set so they can perform in game.
Yeah, unfortunately you lost the first game, but going forward, what are general expectations from yourself as an owner to the team? Are you just happy when they pick up a couple of wins, or do you have a set goal already? You want to go to playoffs, or you want to make top 3, or what's your general expectations, I think?
Yeah, I think that's a pretty easy question for me, because the way I think of it is I grew up in traditional sports. I'm from a small town. I played American football, even though I'm this small. That's what you do in a small town in America. And so when I was there, I played for a team that had a long history of winning. It was we call it the winning culture, right? And we didn't win for our coach. We didn't win for ourselves. We didn't win for the fans. It was way bigger than that. It was this almost ethereal thing. You would win because not winning felt so just not good, right? Mm-hmm. And so the winning culture that we was built over decades. And so in esports, we obviously are so much younger than that. And the building of that winning culture in esports, it's going to take those pieces like Chris, like Yamato, like what we're doing from the ownership group. We're also working with Weldon from Mind Games for the psychology side of things as well. And we don't expect that to happen in week 1. Today was the very first time in LCS stage for a bunch of our players, And so they went in there. I'm sure they learned a ton. I know Yamato's going to go back and they're going to work on a lot of things. And so if you win, it's fantastic in week 1, but that's not the goal, right? The goal is to build that winning culture and ramp up over the weeks. So do we have a goal? The goal is certainly to win. I would say, playoffs is, I think, a really good goal for us, a smart goal. And then we'll take it from there, one step at a time.
So yeah, we've heard a lot about Weldon, even myself, I've worked with him together, and I think people just hear this name, but they don't really know what he does.
Right.
He has a few podcasts, but do you want to explain what a sport psychologist does for the team, and how he has helped you guys out for preparation for this game?
Yeah. And I'll try not to butcher this on Weldon, because I know I'm certainly a layman saying all this, right? So Weldon's role is to help, again, build that winning culture. So he works we have these very young players. There's the massive pressures of playing in such a large league. Betting is obviously a big thing. So we all know when people lose their bets, that they go after the players on social media. Reddit's a big thing, and so there's a lot of pressures on their back. And so he helps them learn to deal with these immense pressures they may never have had before. He looks at the entire team culture, helps them to really solidify as a unit on a much more mental level than a coach would go. And then he supports the coaching staff as well. So he's helping them as they learn how to communicate, how to deal with them. He can do crisis management. There's all kinds of things. And as the split goes, I'm sure as a former player, ups and downs, that there's all this crazy roller coaster. So that's where Weldon's able to come in and push you up when you're down, or keep you steady when you're up, and help build that culture. And he was a big part of some like CLG, for example, when they ran their ride last year.
So of course, Riot just announced yesterday the new rules in terms of auto relegation, and of course, coming in the summer, we have quite a few changes in the split in terms of a best of 2 system instead of a best of 1. What are your general thoughts about the recent Riot changes, and do you think it's a good step into the next direction?
The best of two, I'm fine with it.
Yeah.
And the reason I'm fine with it is because A, it's just more exposure than one. It's also gives you the chance when you play that team to go off and maybe make some changes and learn that team. So we play a team, we might lose the first game and go, okay, well, we figured some things out and come back and you win the second one. And it isn't even necessarily about the win at that point. You might be able to bring something through the season with you then, you know, you have more opportunity. On the other side of the relegation, I think I like the little mini tournament thing is really smart. It gives you the opportunity to say, just because you dominated Challenger on a given year, how do we really know if Challenger was the top Challenger was better than the bottom LCS? So if you can beat the bottom LCS, you deserve that spot. But just because you beat all of a completely different league doesn't necessarily mean you are the best person to have that slot. So I think it's a smart way to say, let's really compare LCS and Challenger and give that opportunity.
All right, you just heard it from the man himself, Splyce owner Marty. And yeah, thank you so much for watching. And of course, we have a lot more coverage coming in for day 2.